Hey folks, Joko here. If you're watching this video, it's because, most likely, you are looking for some advice about how to write an IELTS essay, task 2 in particular here, and someone to tell you how to write an essay for IELTS. Well, there's lots of people who will tell you how to do it. And that's what I'm doing here too. In fact, this is the first time I'm going with the white background. I've noticed all of the top IELTS instructors, which I don't claim to be, but they all have this, white, the same sort of white background. So I'm going to go with that and see how that works. Maybe it aids in people's understanding, because you want to understand, right? And as a teacher, what I always try to do is make things simpler to understand by doing things like not just explaining, but using simile and metaphor and analogy to compare something complex to something simpler. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me talk about how a pie graph can be looked at as a pizza, a numerical table as a menu, and that a task 1 itself is like a salad. It's something that you assemble using the best possible ingredients, but you put it together in the right proportions and follow the rules. It's not that tough, and you don't have a salad for dinner. No. That's task 2. I've come up with a better analogy, which I'm going to share with you tonight. Simile. This damn chair, I'm going to change chairs. And my idea for this name, IELTS Temple, came from a simile. What I want to point out is that, like an IELTS essay, music has structure. You can use the criteria of the band descriptors, kind of fittingly named, to describe what makes a good song. When you're playing an instrument, you need to have precision. You need your and that's mentioned in the band descriptors. Your fingers need to be. See, that's not precision. Fingers need to be on the right spots. If you don't know how to make a C minor diminished seventh, that's what it's going to sound like. And so when you try to use vocabulary that's beyond your, that's high level, complicated chords, it's not going to be very precise. That's lexical resource. What makes a good song? Well, if your feet tapping, it's a good song. And of course, grammar. There is a house in New Orleans. Anyway, grammar is your singing. Like many of you and your English language skills, I learned to play this thing when I was a teenager. At the same time you started learning English, right? I was a kid. Well, I was stuck there. I was a band 5 guitar player because I didn't put in the time, and I could put a series of chords together that people would be able to understand and know that is that song. Okay, but it's not very precise, and your singing is horrible, and your tempo is off. And anyway, I was that way for a long time. Well, until about my mid-20s, when I was in a period where I had a lot of time and not a lot of friends, and I spent an hour a day, every day, practicing. And not just that, but also at the same time, I learned about music theory. Well, it was really my introduction to the circle of fifths. Now, the fifth is the 5th tone above the root. What's the root? Coming back to our essay analogy, your root is your topic sentence of a paragraph. Yeah? A song has verses and a key. It's in the key of what note? An essay There are those who believe that children should be taught English at an early age. They find that it helps them to develop their brains. Okay, the circle of fifths is that some notes naturally go better with other notes, like this. That's the fifth one. That's the E. That's the A. You know, what note should I play next? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. It's a mathematical thing that in music theory, I won't bother you with the details, but there's ways of progressing through a chord progression, just as there are in a paragraph with the roles of the different sentences of a paragraph. Okay? Topic sentence. You got your explanation sentence. And then you have an example, or perhaps a consequence, a conditional. And then you wrap it up and you bring it back to the root. Again, back to the bass note. You know, so I learned when I was still a band 5 that two popular songs, Almost Heaven, West Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. That's a G, an E, a D, and a C. And in this song here, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Okay? And they both use the same chords, but in just a slightly different order. And now I understood why. And that made me a better guitar player because I felt what a good song needs to do, needs to connect to itself in its chord progression. And eventually I learned that there's simple ways, do a good job. A simple sentence, a simple organization to your essay, to your paragraph, will allow you to have a good song. Something as simple as 3 chords, just 3 notes. Topic, sentence, supporting sentence, example. Topic, sentence, supporting sentence, another supporting sentence. Okay? You can do that. And, it works. It'll get you a 7. But no one's going to ever think that Knocking on Heaven's Door is a great song. It's not a band 8. No one could ever play it as a band. Anyway, you got to look for other ways. You got to expand your musical capabilities and go beyond the structure of the root and the 5th and the 6th and the 4th. So again, it was with a lot of practice and learning about structure that I finally started to be able to play things that people might want to listen to. We're getting close to a band 7. And you might be there as well. What did you find? You found these templates that give you a sentence-by-sentence guide as to how to write your Task 2 essay. So for instance, you're going to do, here's my topic sentence. And then here's my, for instance, and then here is, in addition, furthermore, for, and in the next paragraph, I've got my topic sentence, for example, thusly, moreover. That has its place, and you may be excited and happy that you found this, and that's good. I read this whole video is inspired by an essay I read from a Nigerian man. He had some interesting ideas, but they were like so many, like Pankaj before him. They were wrapped up in this structure. Nothing's gonna save me because the end of the world is coming. Really, this is like for really happy little kind of stuff. And that structure doesn't fit what I was trying to do. What I mean is, first understand that yes, use structures, but great music doesn't come from doing what you're told. Sometimes you have to say, I'm tired of this guitar. I'm tired of moreover and what's so for and the same structure that doesn't allow me to put my ideas bravely in an academic way, in a logical, balanced way, but with something different. Now, I'm still not a very good musician. I'll admit that. I don't spend enough time practicing. But I will say this, that everything changed for me when I decided to give up on the moreover and the therefore and the for this reason and for instance, and decided to do something different. And I learned about this guy here. This is the ukulele. The ukulele. It's just such a wonderful little instrument to increase our capital growth, but it destroys our environment. Anyway, I'm really pushing the metaphor here. And musical styles are more akin to the question type. Okay? Don't be, well, I'm not going to tell you how to be. You be yourself. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off by singing some of your essays. Stay tuned.